John in Kentucky is on the line. John, thanks for calling, man. How you doing, Kentucky John?
I'm doing all right.
Nice.
So I got two things, right?
Okay.
The first thing, I'm not your friend. I heard you say earlier, my black friend from Kentucky. I'm not your friend, dude.
All right.
You are my enemy. Okay, that's the first thing.
Fiend?
And then this, huh?
How about fiend?
What's a fiend?
I don't even know. It's a good question.
A fiend, like I've heard of like a dope fiend, like somebody's on drugs. I don't know how you're using it.
An evil spirit or demon.
I mean, I guess you are a fiend then.
Where the fiend's at?
Listen, man. The second thing, segregation.
Yeah.
I can't hear you too well either. It's like you're low. Let me
Okay.
turn my phone up.
All right.
I would love segregation, dude. Like, especially nowadays when, black people are making so much money. We could spend with our own people and build our communities and only spend with each other. That would only be a positive for us.
It was positive for you guys back then. I mean, it wasn't really holding you back much.
I mean, yeah, because we didn't have a choice but to have our own businesses and spend with each other. But now it would be even better because you know how entertainers are, all these athletes and musicians and everything like that. If we had all those trillions of dollars that we rake in and give to these top so-called fake Jews, if we had that to spread around and build our communities, it would be way better than it is now. And y'all couldn't complain about us moving to y'all's nice neighborhoods.
Right.
Because people like me who do move into white neighborhoods, it's not because y'all are white. It's because we want to live good too,
Right.
We don't want to live in bad places.
And your white neighbors are not bad neighbors, right? Or wrong?
Well, some of them are. But
by and large, they're not.
My neighbors in particular, when I first met them, I could look in their eyes and they were like, oh, I hope these aren't these kind of black people.
Yep.
And then when they met me, they loved me.
See?
They love me.
Yep.
But,
I can tell you'd be an okay neighbor.
Whatever. But it's just that, how y'all put us all in the same box? We don't like that. I mean, I'll be honest. The type of black person I am, we don't like the prejudice.
Who puts you in this same box?
White people.
That's your imagination, though, because I don't think any white puts you all in the same box.
Yeah, man, y'all prejudge us. Jesse Lee Peterson was talking about this
But you're
morning.
prejudging them. You prejudge just by the look in their eye that they're thinking, oh, this is one of those blacks. Hopefully it's not one of those bad black neighbors.
Well, it's some intuition there, man. You can tell by the look in somebody's eyes, man.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, you can.
And
yes, you can.
And but sometimes you're in your imagination.
Well,
because
that's what y'all like to say.
I've been misread before, and I'm sure you've been misread by the look in your face
all the time.
And so, how do you know that you're not
I'm black and I'm scary?
No, but I'm talking about by the look in your face, or your statements. You've been misunderstood before by the stuff that you put out, not just by your appearance.
By my color, like I've been, prejudged. Are you saying that's not true? People don't prejudge on color?
Not as frequently as you imagine. I mean, you guys do prejudge the whites based on their whiteness. You call them racist, and race may not have anything to do with their motivation for whatever they did.
You're probably a little bit right, but like if I see a redneck with a big old truck with a big flag flying with a Confederate flag, yeah, I will say more than likely he's racist.
But who cares?
I will do that.
What's that even mean? Like, what does that even mean, racist?
You know what it means. It means like the people who are like I was talking about being prejudiced, who just don't like us based on I don't know.
But I like the rebel flag, and if I were down south, I don't know if I would fly it or not. But
you really don't like the rebel flag. You just like trolling.
I think it's a beautiful flag. I don't like the attack on it. I don't like the unfair attack on it. I think it's a beautiful flag. I wasn't raised with rebel flag waving family, so it's not really a family thing.
Well, you're not from the South,
Yeah,
man.
but it was around the culture. It was Dukes of Hazzard. I know there were people. KKK was not. Oh yeah, KKK was a little bit into it, but KKK barely existed in our lifetimes.
That's one of their main flags. Is the Confederate flag.
The KKK is too big in your mind. They barely existed in your life or mine.
That's what you think.
That's what I know.
No, that's not true.
It was overhyped.
I can still remember when I was, elementary age, and before the fair comes to town, you have a parade.
Yeah.
And they had Ku Klux Klan members walking down the street, and everybody was just in shock because, we never seen a Klansman in a robe, like face to face.
Exactly, shock. So it wasn't that common.
Yeah. That's because most of the time, not existed. They're like a shadow society, man. It's your police officers, it's your judges, it's your contractors. It's those people who go to those secret meetings that you would never even know was a Klansman. They live every day like normal people. So it's not that it don't exist. It's just it's a secret society. Still today.
Even that is overstated, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Say what now?
Even that is overestimated in its influence.
You don't have the stats on that.
But neither do you.
Stats on that. But I have a better feeling being from where I'm from.
Being from the South, Kentucky.
Yeah, they have these hand signals, and if you know one family.
And so, what were the KKK about in our lifetime?
In our lifetime,
yeah. What are they about?
White preservation, like white preservation.
And what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with white preservation,
right.
But to do it in an evil way and a hateful manner, like if you came at a different angle without saying these N-words and these spicks and all this stuff like
right.
this, minus the hate, people could look at it different. If you can't, but
can you understand
all this hate and rage, then it's like you're my enemy, and whatever happens, happens. Like,
can you understand?
I hate you.
How about some understanding though for the KKK and the blacks who hate whites and all the hatred? Have some understanding for them, because they're either brainwashed or they see some evil things in the world and they're hating the evil in the world, because there's a lot of
they are the evil. What are you talking about, man?
They're not the evil. They're evil reacting to evil. Maybe if they're angry, they're evil. And you mentioned the Hispanics, but they use a slur for it, and they use the blacks, and if the Hispanics and blacks were better neighbors, they wouldn't be so vicious.
Screw that, man.
It's true.
You're talking about a certain kind of black and a certain kind of Hispanic,
right?
And they put us all in the same group.
No, I'm talking about it's overrepresented, and then there's the good ones like you.
Of course, you're going to defend the KKK, man.
But I'm not defending them. I'm showing understanding. I'm not defending them, nor am I defending the blacks who hate whites. I'm just showing some understanding, because you know that the bad neighbors are disproportionate in the black and Hispanic communities. You have to be blind not to know that.
Man, but see, that's the thing.
And then the good ones like you, if you let me keep on interrupting you, the good ones like you blame them for seeing something wrong with the bad ones in your ranks. So it's a bunch of devils fighting.
I'm not giving them a pass on putting people like me in the category with people who live in poverty and crime and stuff. I'm not giving them a pass. So if they're not mature enough to know that there's a difference, if they're not mature enough to know that there's a difference, that's on them. So I can see that there's decent white people,
right?
And I can see that there's evil white people. And
right.
I'm not walking around with a frown on my face or a smug look because I'm walking beside a white person.
Yeah.
And you'll see it all the time with white people. You get out of your car at the grocery store, click, click, click. Old lady locks her doors because you're big and you're black.
That's called risk assessment. You can't hold that against them. You can't hold that against them. They don't want to.
Hey, also, look, before you play that stupid song, were you born, when you were being raised, were
Yeah.
you Mormon or something like that before you became Christian?
No, I was raised normal Christian. I went to a Presbyterian church, a friend's church. We weren't really into any particular denomination. We were just Christian, reading the Bible, doing Jesus Club on Fridays, singing songs, going to Christian family camp.
But you say you were sheltered, so did your parents live by, if it's of the world, he can't be exposed to it?
No, not to that level, because we had Superman and G.I. Joe and Batman and stuff like that. So,
Well, you said
and I
said
went to
you were
public
sheltered.
school. When I say sheltered, I mean that my siblings, my older siblings and my parents, or at least my mother, listened to Christian music. And I didn't watch rated R movies that much. Only select like one or two. And PG-13 movies. That's what I mean by sheltered.
So you resented your parents because they didn't let you watch bad movies.
No, I didn't have any resentment about that.
Crazy.
I didn't resent that for that. You're making that up. You're putting words in my mouth. What a mess.
Oh man! Now the reason why I was asking real quick because I was just thinking I had 3 nieces, right, and their mom sheltered them, and they couldn't anything of the world. And they couldn't be exposed to it, so they had the most boring life, right?
That's
So
overboard.
once they became of age, they became promiscuous. You know, they started sleeping around and just doing whatever they could do to get all the world in they could, right?
Yeah.
And then they hit the phase now where they've leveled out and got back on track and they're doing well and stuff like that.
Nice.
So it's not a good idea to be sheltering kids. You got to let them experience it for themselves,
Yep.
and they'll figure it out.
Fathers are more hands off. Mothers overdo whatever they're into, oftentimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, appreciate it. John in Kentucky. Take
Yeah.
care.
All right, play that stupid song.
All right, bye.